when are elections going to be held in Eritrea? There were elections scheduled for 2001. They didn't take place. When is that going to happen?
What elections?
Elections in Eritrea.
We'll see what the elections in the United States will bring about, and we will wait for about 3-4 decades until...
There's no freedom of the press. There's no freedom of speech.
We have fought for so many decades.
The integration process might take a long time. It might even take decades. But full integration of Eritrea and Ethiopia.
ዘለዓለማዊ ክብሪ ንሰማዕታትና ዓወትና ሓፋሽ
خيد له مسرح ዝብላነ ታሪክ ይስራሕ ኣሎ እዚ ኸይድ ዘሎ መስርሕ ከዓ ሸቶታቱ ክወቅዕ ኣብ ትብፃሕ ክንበፅሕ ከም ድጉየ ክንጎይ ህዝቢ ኤርትራን ህዝቢ ኢትዮጵያን ክልተ ህዝቢ ይብሉ ትዛረብ ዳር ሕጂ ነቲ ሓቂ ዘይፈልጥ ጥራይ
The integration process might take a long time. It might even take decades. But full integration of Eritrea and Ethiopia.
أنا تدقاقامي لهم وانا تقبل نقر دعرامي وكيل الساعة مرحلة نقول العالم اللي هو قصيدة وإذ نرانا من دين الدولة يكون ما يبحكي إذا حكي جوات الديسنا نفضل لنا سلام فقري شكلتي هذا مزبطات رايدر كمان ما يلمعات ما يقصقص ما يحبيت مدباتنا حاجة خالد زفلة أيقونة نزغة دكتور أبي يقول له مرحلة أنا هون
أجي ناب كم زد مسألة قلولا ودمر حسب سنف تراي سنف نداي فرح سسوع
ناي حقنيا مجلسي ترئيو سلذخونه نعنا نقولنا نعاي دكتور أبي نكو حقوسنا نقولهم أبي دلو أجايش مسانها نكو حقوسكم نكو عزراهم ناي بحكي سميت ناي ده هجرتها مهمر دكتور أبي وصدو حريا قليل حريا يكون إذا حريازي ناي بحكي نأسران حمشتن عمتات عدل تفتر لنا خناتات تغير لنا ناب زحاشة دحاب دعبة معبالين خيد على ناب زبالنا اللوان تعدل تخلي فينا أسران حمشتن عمتات وحد جزيه كنا أسران حمشتن عمتات تفع جزيه
ተኸስረ ዕድል ዝኾነ ይኹን መንገዲ ክትልክዖ እውን ዝከኣል ኣይኮነን ሎሚ ኣብዚ ሕጂ ዘለናዮ ግን ኣይከሰርናን ኣይጠፍኣናን ንብረትና ብሙሉእ መሊስና
እዚ ናብ ከምዚ ዝኣመሰለ ቅልውላው ደምርሕ ሰብ ሰነፍ ጥራይ ሰነፍ ነዳይ ፈራህ ስስዑ
ክቡር ፕሬዝዳንት ሃገረ ኤርትራ አቶ ኢሰያስ አፈወርቂ ከም አስመራ ድማ ወዲ አፈይ ዛሬ ኦፊሻሊ ክቡር ፕሬዝዳንት ኢሰያስ የኤርትራ ውጭ ጉዳይ ሚኒስቴር ስራ እንድሰራ ስልጣን ስለሰጡኝ በየሄድኩበት አቶ ኡስማን ወክዬ ከሰራው የሥራ መዛባት እንዳይመስላችሁ አሁን መልእክቴ እንደመር
خيد له مسرح ዝብላነ ታሪክ ይስራሕ ኣሎ እዚ خيد له መስርሕ ከዓ ሸቶታቱ ወቀ ኣብ ድብጻሕ ክንበጽሕ ከም ድጉየ ክንጎይ ህዝቢ ኤርትራን ህዝቢ ኢትዮጵያን ክልተ ህዝቢ ይብሉ ዝዛረብ ዳር ሕጂ ነትሐቅ ዘይፈልጥ ጥራይ
The integration process might take a long time. It might even take decades. But full integration of Eritrea and Ethiopia.
أنا تدقاقامي لهم وانا ذكر نجم دعرام وكيل الساعة مرحلة العالم يروح بسيطة وإذ نرانا من ينتهي الدولة يفضل أي بحكي إذا حكي جوات الديسنا نضافة لنا سلام فقري شكلتي هذا مزبطات رايدر قمت أي لمعات أي قصقاص أي حبيت مدباتنا حاجة خالد في اللي أيقنا نزغها دكتور أبي يقول مرحلة أنا هون
أجي ናብ ከምዚ ዝኣመሰለ ቅልውላው ደምርሕ ሰብ ሰነፍ ጥራይ ሰነፍ ነዳይ ፈራህ ስስዑ
How do you as a country continue to afford to be on this war footing now 18-20 years
this is a fantasy on those who think we are on a war footing It's crazy. It's an imagination of people who can only be categorized as insane, who will fantasize on things that do not exist in real terms.
If your country is not on war footing, how come there's so much repression? There's no freedom of the press. There's no freedom of speech.
I can understand where you come from. And this is again another boring joke based on fabrications.
Can anybody leave the country when they want to?
Did you enjoy the show yesterday?
Can anybody leave the country when they want to?
Did you enjoy the show yesterday?
Can anybody leave the country when they want to?
In the streets, anybody can leave this country anytime.
If they can get a passport.
What is it to get a passport from a country you deserve to be a citizen for?
What about freedom of the press, freedom of the speech? Eritrea jails more journalists than any other country in the world. Why do you have to resort to
These are lies.
You don't jail journalists.
Are lies. These are lies of Jazeera International, deliberately distorting facts to give the impression that this country is in a war footing and so many things. Iran is here, Israel is here, we are supporting Houthis, we are supporting terrorists. You name it. You are using these lies to serve an agenda for destabilizing this region.
I would never do anything to attempt to destabilize the region. I'm trying to get to the bottom of the truth.
Lies without providing any evidences and trying to blame it on the United Nations. Sometimes when the United Nations has not said anything, blame it on the government of Sudan when Sudan has not said anything.
Okay, let's talk about the people who live in this country. If I can just quote these to you, the United Nations stats estimate that almost 63,000 Eritreans applied for asylum last year alone, and that 1,800 cross over every month into Sudan. Why are they leaving the country?
These are lies. These are your lies.
So people are not leaving the country? That's another United Nations estimate.
Give us the evidences. We would like to see evidences. According to those reports, the population of this country is out of town by yesterday, according to those statistics.
They're fleeing from the country. Of course, the most high-profile one you've had, the football team, which disappeared in Kenya, they're seeking asylum. Those athletes in Scotland, they're also seeking asylum. So
this is news to me. It's news to
me.
Really? I've never heard anything like that, and I'm not bothered if people go there, if they ask for asylum here or there, if they're looking for jobs in the United States, in Europe. Why would I bother about that?
One of the reasons that many of the people leave is because of the indefinite military service for both men and for women, and for the very harsh conditions, and the fact that you can never leave. Why is there this?
This is another lie. Again, another lie. It's compromising your credibility as a media outlet and coming up with a pack of lies and trying to prove to them, to anyone, by putting them as facts on the ground and trying to give the impression that these are things that exist in the real world. Israel is here. Who is not here?
Well, Israel is here. They've got a military base.
Everybody is here. Iran is here. I mean, how can you possibly imagine people to trust and believe what you tell them when you're talking about lies that do not exist in
Every single question I've put to you is backed up with a lot of research and a lot of facts. So with respect, Mr. President, I'm just trying to find out how your country operates, because I find it a fascinating country. So please, as a journalist...
It's a good exercise for a journalist to ask questions about a number of things, but to come up with a pack of lies, a pack of fabrications, and try to prove them by putting them as very innocent questions and trying to give credibility or trying to discredit your sources. You're discrediting the sources. You're discrediting the United Nations when you come and tell things in the name of the United Nations when the United Nations has not said anything like that. And how can a media outlet with credibility come up with these lies?
Let's talk about the drought in the Horn of Africa. Eritrea, like all the other countries, is suffering from this. And yet you are reluctant to let aid workers into your country. What is the justification for that?
When we have enough food, why do we need someone to feed us?
Because 2/3 of your population are starving.
Why do people want to spoon feed us when we have enough food?
But then how come 2/3 of the population are not getting that food?
I mean, then again, how can you possibly imagine and say, I am hungry when I'm not hungry? Why do you want to believe that? Why do you want to believe people are hungry and people are in need of your support? Why do you want to believe that? That's a very, very sad state of mind for people who think that they can come and feed people when they're not even in need of feeding. Go and feed the people of the victims of Katrina. Go and feed the people in Haiti if you really want to.
So there's no food or aid problem.
We don't need any food. We can feed ourselves. And I'm bothered. Why do you want to feed us?
How much support do you have in this country? You've been leading it for 18 years. You've been liberated for 20 years. Last year, there was an assassination attempt on your life. Where did that come from, and what do you think was behind that?
Then again, this is another lie. I mean, how can you possibly believe that there was an assassination attempt? Why would you imagine this was there? It's never occurred, and it came as a surprise when I heard that. I said, these people are crazy. They are out of their mind, imagining things that do not exist and fantasizing on what they wish to see. Why do you do that?
You promised Eritreans political reform. There are no political parties other than your own.
I do not promise.
I
do not promise anyone. I do not promise anyone. It's like a a very wealthy person who controls everything and promises people that he's going to tip them today, tip them tomorrow, tip them next day. We never do promises. The people here don't.
You promised democracy?
No one here promises anybody anything.
You can't even...
There is nothing, there is no commodity called democracy. There is no commodity that is promised by any one person to the people of one country.
Will you allow eventually other political parties to operate? Will you allow the constitution to be released? Will you allow an open political system that is governed by the people?
By the people like in China?
The people who will call on government to justify.
It's again, you're assuming that you are talking on behalf of the people of this country. Let the people talk.
I'm asking you how you would define...
The people will have to define it.
Human Rights Watch says you are turning this country into a giant prison and creating a human rights crisis.
You can walk around and see for yourself if that is true. Again, it's a lie.
Why then, if people want to leave the country, do they come under the orders of shoot to kill? How is that justified?
No. If you are telling me every day thousands are leaving this country, how do you think can that happen? If you're telling me hundreds of thousands have asked for asylum, how can you imagine these people have left this country? If you believe that.
Who do you consider your friends?
Where do you mean?
In the world?
The whole world. The whole world. Outside liars. A bunch of liars may not be my friends. But the whole world now is behind Eritrea. Everybody is asking, why all these lies? Why this sanction? Why this and that? It's an expression of the support of people. Minimum, you can imagine sensible people asking very simple questions about all the fabrications they hear every day. And that is by way of questioning the credibility of those who are telling the lies, which means it's a support for the one who is being victimized without any evidence. That's very important to remember. And those people who are asking very simple questions are behind Eritrea.
So if you can just tell me a little bit about your aspirations.
We don't need any wars. We have fought for so many decades, and we know what it means to go into war. And it's very senseless to imagine that you can waste your time and resources doing things that do not deserve any penny. We are focused on doing the right things in this country, and we don't need to do it by forcing people to believe this or that. And people are seriously engaged in what they're doing to change their quality of life. Those who've never tried it may fantasize about going to war. We have been there for so many decades, almost 2 generations.
زلالماو خبري نسمعتاتنا عوضنا حفاش
خيد له مسرح زبلانه تاريخ يسرح له እዚ ኸይድ ዘሎ መስርሕ ከዓ ሸቶታቱ ክወቅዕ ኣብ ድብፃሕ ክንበፅሕ ከም ድጉየ ክንጎይ ህዝቢ ኤርትራን ህዝቢ ኢትዮጵያን ክልተ ህዝቢ ይብሉ ትዛረብ ዳሕሪ ሕጂ ነቲ ሓቂ ዘይፈልጥ ጥራይ
The integration process might take a long time. It might even take decades. But full integration of Eritrea and Ethiopia.
ኣነ ተደጋጋሚ ለለኹ ዝኾነ ዝግበር ነገር ድሕራሉ ወኪል ንስኻ ክመርሓና ንኾነ ዓለም ኩሰይደ ወይ ዘረባኽት መንም እንቲ ዝግብሮ ዘይኮነ ናይ ብሓቂ እዚ ሕጂ ህይወት ኣዲስና ንረኽቦ ዘለና ሰላም ፍቕሪ ናይ ክልቲኣቶም ህዝብታት ጥራይ ዘይኮነ ናይ ልምዓት ናይ ገስጋስ ናይ ዕብየት መደባትና ሓደ ካብ ካልእ ዝፍለጥ ኣይኮነን ነዚ ከዓ ዶክተር ኣብይ ክህሉ ክመርሐልና
እዚ ናብ ከምዚ ዝኣመሰለ ቅልውላው ደምርሕ ሰብ ሰነፍ ጥራይ ሰነፍ ነዳይ ፈራህ ስሱዕ